my name's Richard Pinner, and I'm the author of Reconceptualizing Authenticity for English as a Global Language, which was published in 2016, which at the time of recording is nearly 5 years ago. And I wanted to do a behind the books video. I was kind of inspired because I've just edited another volume with Multilingual Matters about complexity approaches to researching language learning and teacher psychology together with Richard Sampson. And so this is my second book with so this was my first book with Multilingual Matters, and I felt it also deserved a video, perhaps because it was my first experience and indeed my first ever published monograph. And it was a really an honour and a lot of fun to work with Multilingual Matters. They were very supportive of me being a first-time author. I'm very honoured that they published my book and that they took the chance on me as a sort of new voice. And basically, I started my PhD in 2013, and I graduated in 2017, and as I say, the book came out in 2016, and so it was mainly written in 2014, 2015. And people are sometimes surprised that I wrote a book whilst doing my PhD that wasn't my PhD. I subsequently published my doctoral research, which was about authenticity and motivation. I published that later. So what was this book, this Reconceptualizing Authenticity? Really, it was me trying to get my head around the concept of authenticity. I proposed some new ideas in some ways. In particular, in Chapter 5, I talk about something called the authenticity continuum, which I'll find the page here. Which looks like this, and basically this was intended to be a visual and simple representation of all the complexities of authenticity. The fact that you often define something as either authentic or not authentic, and that's problematic. So the continuum was designed to explain the fact that there's a whole mess of grey area, and actually there are different types of authenticity. There's social authenticity, individual authenticity. There's authenticity as it relates to the classroom, but there's also authenticity as it might relate to the target language use domain, where the language will be used outside of the classroom. And I wanted to try and bring all these things together. But the book is also very much a literature review, and it talks about the background of authenticity, especially drawing on the big discussion about authenticity in the wake of communicative language teaching, which grew up in the 70s. And of course I've used a lot of the ideas that were put forward by scholars such as Henry Widdowson and Leo van Leer, and built on their sort of more philosophical almost understandings of authenticity, and yet tried to keep it practical and pin it down to something that relates to how language teaching is done in the classroom. The book talks a lot about the politics of authenticity as well, the fact that with English being a global language, we can no longer just say that something is authentic because it comes from a country or a culture where English is spoken as the first language. So I really picked up on the kind of politics of that, the ELT industry, and I looked at the work of people like Adrian Holiday, and I talked about native speakerism and that kind of thing as well. So really tried to kind of bring something new to the debate of authenticity, whilst also summarising everything that's come up until this point. So I hope that the book is still relevant even after 5 years. It's nice now that it's been picked up a bit more, and I'm seeing it being cited in some journals a bit more these days. But really, I just wanted to tell you about the book and to say thank you very much if you've already read it, and if you haven't, then please do check it out. And also thanks very much to Multilingual Matters for publishing my book, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching the video. Thank you very much.